Hello, our trusted viewer. We are back. My name is Brenda Sonapul from Risk in Focus, and we are back to continue our risk management awareness series. Our director of risk is here with us, David, and he's here to answer our questions on risk management. Karibu sana, David.
Thank you so very much. Brenda, is great to see you and the content we are going to be doing.
Yes.
Thank you so very much for bringing or making it the program back.
Yes.
It's been a while, and I think we have seen so many things happening within and around us.
Yes.
We have seen good things happening. We have seen bad things happening within our country.
Yes.
And all those, you will find there is underlying risk that has either driven them
Yes.
or they have benefited out of such things that have been happening. We are here courtesy of Romwe Gardens. Romwe Gardens is a conference place where people come and they are able to do their weddings, social gatherings, eateries, and all the like. And we thank them that they're able to give us this garden to be able to do these video programs to our esteemed clients.
While away, David, some viewers asked a series of questions, so I will share them with you and maybe you can just answer them for us. The first question is, since risk management appears to involve people, how do people come in regard to risk management?
Thank you so very much, Brenda. I think is a good question, and I think it has not been a bit of a risk to delay our viewers that long. But we are here to answer the questions that they are asking.
Yes.
Remember, we had talked about the risk management, and we had said, according to ISO 31000, risk is about that uncertainty that can affect our objectives. And we talked about how that objective can be affected by the things that either internal or external things, the environment, whether it is within us or outside us. But there's a host of things that can prevent us from achieving that objective. Some could be minor, some could be major. And remember, we also talked about establishing the context. Where are we going to practice this risk management? We talked about risk identification, risk assessment in terms of evaluation and analysis.
Yes.
We talked about controls, you see, about communicating and all that. And if you remember very well, we even went ahead to talk about risk classifications. The question that you are asking is, how then is it that we have risk management and it appears like it's people involving?
Yes.
And you are very right in asking that, because risk management is about the social interactions we have so that risks come about. And when you talk about people, you talk about how they are behaving and how they are coming together, the social. And when you talk about the word social, you cannot escape talking about culture.
Okay.
So when we talk about risk and people, it's better we talk about risk and the culture that can arise and the risks that can emanate from there. So culture, there are those values, beliefs, knowledge and understanding shared by a group of people for a common purpose. That is how the Institute of Risk Management defines culture. And you know, Brenda, you cannot come today and tell me my culture is. You know, you cannot have a culture of your own.
Yes,
The culture is a group of people, and when these people interact, it is when risks can come out of it,
Yes,
and
yes.
it is how risks can be managed. So culture is actually developed through a combination of historical, could be social, could be environmental, could be psychological factors.
Okay.
Those are the things that will come together and form a culture. And you know, like for example, when you talk about socialization,
Yes.
when somebody socializes with their family, socializes with the people they work with, socializes with the belief they have in maybe the faith,
Yes.
you know, it forms a culture within itself. If we talk about the language we talk, the language we talk will give us a way in which we can form a culture within the language that we talk. We can also have tradition and practices.
Yes.
how do we do our rituals? How do we do our weddings? How do we do our burials, sorry to say? You know, all those come to build the culture in which people might follow. Or even we can environmental, geographical. You can imagine people living in the highlands and against those people living on the coastal areas.
Yes.
The coast people will be having the eating habits that will be very different from the people who are up country.
Yes.
So all those things taken together, they will try and bring about the culture that an a community or a company or a family will have.
Okay, David, thank you so much. I think what I've understood is that you cannot have culture on your own. It's got to be a group.
Yes, because again, the Institute of Risk Management, I keep on referring to them because they
Yes.
have really gone ahead into trying to bring modern issues into risk management. There's a model they call the ABC model.
Okay.
And they say it is A will be attitude, B will be behaviors, and C will be the culture. So when somebody comes into an organization, they will have an attitude. That is self. It is within them. And those are the attitude that they have will lead to a behavior that they have.
Yes.
So when you have 2, 3 people with an attitude and then they have behaviors, those corrective of those behaviors can actually form the culture of an organization.
Okay.
That is why you will find that in a banking industry, vis-a-vis a marketplace,
Yes.
those people, because of their attitudes, because of their behaviors, they form a culture within the banking sector,
Yes.
a culture within the marketplace. It is because of these attitudes, behaviors, and that now form the culture.
Okay.
And actually, when a culture forms, it influences the attitude of an individual
Yes.
and also the behaviors that those people are having. So that again, attitude and will shape the behavior. I mean, or rather, the behaviors will also try and influence the culture that people have.
Okay.
So it's called the ABC model, which now explains very well about the culture and how people can, how culture can be formed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's it for now. For more of this content, like, subscribe, and comment. See you soon.